inside of something real. But somehow I lost you on the way. I assumed you left me behind. Lifeless days and sleepless nights, so tired of it. I can't get you off my mind, can't forget it. Now I know I've got.
This is what I've got to take on a daily basis. Just so that I can look after the kids and just keep going. Without these, I'm stuck in bed. I'm gonna tell you my story. Hiya. Chris to talk about his condition. I'm gonna talk about mine. I'm gonna try and spread some awareness about it. Cauda Equina syndrome, it's called. And basically, it's called Cauda Equina because it's the bottom of your spine, the horse's tail. And basically, at the bottom of your spine, you've got your nerves that are connected to your bladder, your bowel, your sexual organs, and your legs and feet. Anything, basically, from the waist downwards. And it started off with, I think it was just an ordinary slip disc. People get slip discs all the time, you know, it's very painful. Yep. This slip disc just didn't get better at all. It just got worse and worse and worse. I think I had this slip disc for about 2 years. Went physio made it 10 times worse, to a point where I couldn't even walk. The pain was agonising. The pain was that bad, I didn't even know if it was a new pain coming from my stomach, my back, my head. I didn't know where it was coming from. The pain was that bad. And basically, I went to A&E, got given a load of painkillers, sent back home. Got worse and worse and worse. And my friend took me and I went A&E, and I actually said, I think it's from my stomach, not my back. So they were testing me for gallstones, I think. So they asked me to give a wee sample. I could not wee for shit. I was in that much pain, I didn't even realise I couldn't wee and my bladder wasn't working. Seriously. So I couldn't wee, couldn't poo. I was numb and I didn't even know it because I was in that much agony. Anyway, they figured out that I was kind of numb from the waist down and I didn't even realise. So, blue lighted, straight to Salford, emergency operation for a discectomy, because basically this disc had moved that much, it was basically protruding all my spinal cord at the bottom. The disc sort of like went through it. So basically they have to operate really quickly or you end up with it permanently. So basically they operated really quickly and I made full recovery and I went back to work. 2 years later, the same happened again. I was in complete agony. It come on quite quickly really the second time. It wasn't a slow onset, it was quick. So basically I'm like, I felt bad for letting work down. I just didn't go in. I felt a bit ashamed that I had backache and I couldn't go in. But also through my head was, this is very similar to the Cauda Equina I had 2 years ago. So I was more worried about that than anything. So anyway, went to A&E, had an MRI, and it was Cauda Equina, but it wasn't operable or something, I don't know. Anyway, so I got sent home for a referral. Within that time, I got a lot worse because I couldn't feel my legs. I fell downstairs. Because Chris had to go back to work because we couldn't just not have no income. Connor was climbing up kitchen units and stuff. Because basically what I was trying to do was keep him in the bedroom with me. I had all the snacks, all the nappies, everything outside of me, drinks, Disney Junior on full blast, and tried to keep him in the bedroom with me, which was hard. because I was in complete agony. Even changing his napper, I was crying. It was awful. Anyway, I went to the referral because by this time I couldn't even walk. My legs had just given. I'd had a few bowel accidents. Well, I had 2 bowel accidents. I had a brew in my hand while I was in wheelchair. Chris wheeled me in. He looked at my MRI and said, right, emergency surgery. So I think about 2 days after that, I had my emergency surgery. So I thought, yes, everything's going to be back to normal. Get back to work, get sorted, you know. The thing was, my recovery wasn't quite as the first time. Stuck in a wheelchair for a few weeks. I couldn't walk. I could only do a couple of steps. That was it. I was fucked. I couldn't feel left leg at all. The pain, it was better for a couple of days. I don't know if that was because of the anaesthetics they use when they put you out, but then it come back. I was desperate. I was in agony. I couldn't walk. The pain come back. Ringing doctors, just giving me more painkillers. Went back to my surgeon. She did an MRI. Everything was fine. It did its job. So basically, damaged nerves, permanent cauda equina. Anyway, as soon as I knew what I was dealing with, I had a little boy to look after. Basically, I just pushed myself every day. I could only do like a couple of steps. I pushed myself, done an extra couple of steps. Day after, pushed myself, did another couple of extra steps. Pain was horrendous. Just like the cauda equina pain. I really, really struggled. Anyway, I even took a load of my painkillers because I felt like I was a shit mum because I couldn't do anything. And obviously got rushed to hospital. And something just, I was so low, just wanted to end it. I thought my kids would be better off, well, Connor would be better off without me, and Chris would be better off. I'm a burden on everybody. But something clicked while I was in the hospital that day, and it was a case of, look, you've got to get hold on this. You can get there. So I swore to myself, never again I'll do anything like that. So then, that was it. That was when I started pushing myself. Got myself out the wheelchair, started walking with a walking stick, just pottering around the house. Took me a while to get there to potter around the house. Used to get myself downstairs, sit on the settee, have everything outside of me for Connor. Drinks, snacks, Disney Junior, and just try my best to potter about and try and do a bit more each day. And every time I did them extra steps, it was like, come on, Lou, you've got this. Really congratulate yourself that you've done it. And I was like, yes, I've done another 2 steps. I've done another 5 steps. I've done another 10 steps. And I was doing this for like 2 years. Health visitor was quite worried. She was coming round. And yeah, I went a bit depressed again, and I cried to health visitor. And I says, I just want to take my son to nursery. So I can't even walk him there. Because Chris was coming out of work, taking him to nursery and picking him up. Anyway, health visitor, walk with me. I struggled, but I did it, and that was a massive achievement. And I might have had walking stick, I might have looked like a cripple, but I did it. And then after that, I kept doing it. And then we moved house, and I used to walk along the ginnels at the back, so there were no like main roads, because they were only a toddler, well 5 now, just to get him to school. And it worked. It did really, really well. and it was all flat. But then he moved to junior school and it was up a massive hill. Could I walk up that hill? No. Bladder and bowel problems, sexual problems. Really embarrassing. I do find these difficult to talk about. My bowels do leak constantly. It's not nice and it feels so dirty. My bladder, I don't know when to go to the toilet. I don't know when it's full. I can sit there and drink a full bottle of Lamborghini and not go to the toilet because I don't know how to. So basically, I give myself little routines. Make sure I go in the morning, make sure I go at dinner time, make sure I go at tea time, make sure I go before bed. And usually I do okay, but sometimes I forget my routine. Then I don't know if it's because I forget my routine, but then I end up incontinent for a few days. And the incontinence is horrible. It could just start on you. I could be out with my friends and then all of a sudden my bladder will just go. It's so embarrassing. The bowels now, I've worked it out where I have my coffee and my meds in the morning, get urgency. If I don't go to the toilet, then that's it. As for the sexual problems, I don't know if Chris is going to be a bit embarrassed about this, but it's not Chris's fault and not my fault. But I don't really have any feeling. But the thing is, I do enjoy kissing and cuddling, so that's the best thing. So basically I like the closeness we have. So I do enjoy it. It did cause problems at first, you know, and it wasn't Chris's fault and it wasn't my fault. It was just no feeling. But like I said, after the years, you get to accept that, and it's mainly cuddles and kisses and the closeness. You just gotta love that. Next thing is the pain. I get flare-ups of pain. Bloody nightmare. I hate it. I end up in bed for a couple of days. Chris is like, oh God, what have you done that for? Because I try to manage best I can. I'm stubborn and I'm proud. And I'll try and do things. Even if I'm struggling, I'll try and do it. And then I end up in bed. I am my own worst enemy. When Kieran were born, I had to come off my meds and stuff. I spent basically the whole pregnancy in bed, basically. It was the easiest labour I've ever had. 57 minutes, and the pain, I could cope with it. And maybe it's due to this numbness or what, I don't know. Maybe the pain is on scale of Cauda Equina pain. It is horrendous. So anyway, like I said, a slip disc, that's how it started. It says Cauda Equina is rare. It is not rare. There's loads of people on Facebook Cauda Equina with Cauda Equina. It is unreal. And basically they are red flags, and the red flags is obviously bilateral, meaning down both legs, pain, numbness. I had numbness in my foot, my leg, my privates, my backside, and to be quite honest, I've still got numbness in my backside and my privates now. And on the outer side of my left leg and my outer left foot, I was learning to drive. I can't do the clutch because my left leg's just too weak. Then the other sign is either you can't wee or you're incontinent. And when you wipe yourself, you can't feel the toilet tissue when you wipe yourself. The other one is with your bowels, you either can't go or you're incontinent with it and you can't feel again when you wipe. These are major signs of Cauda Equina. So I just want to make you all aware of that. Anyone with a slip disc and they get any bladder, bowel, numbness problems, please go to A&E, because if you don't, you could end up with permanent damage like I've got. So now I'm living with the Cauda Equina and the permanent damage, the bowel, the bladder, the sexual dysfunction, the numb left leg, the weakness in the left leg, and flare-ups of the Cauda Equina pain. I am in pain constantly, but I've got it well managed. After 7 years, you should hope so, shouldn't you? Now, I think there's a problem with aftercare for people that suffer damage from Cauda Equina. I do think if I had the right physio, the right help, I wouldn't have these extra problems I have now. The extra problems I have now, I think because I've pushed too much, because I've still got to look after my boy, and I've got there, and now I'm walking unaided, without a stick. It took me 2 years to get rid of that stick, by the way. It took me weeks to get rid of the wheelchair. But I do walk unaided now, and I can walk a lot further than I could have done in the early days. But I think because I didn't do it right, and I didn't have the right physio or the right aftercare, that I have these new problems I have now. See, because the left leg is numb and weak, I walk putting on my weight bearing on my right leg, on my right side. So basically, I now have degenerative disc disease, and most of my discs are now slipped to the right because I'm using my right side all the time. It's weight bearing. I use my right for everything. My left side's weak. My right side is pretty bad. I've now got a disc. I've got a few discs out in my neck, but I've got one protruding right into my neck, which causes a whole lot of problems again. You know, migraines, you've got pain. I get pain in my jaw, I get it in my ears. My arms are heavy all the time and weak. I've got numbness in my fingertips, so when I'm typing, this is why I'm such a bad typer. When I'm typing, I don't feel, it feels like cushions and air in between my fingers. It's really weird. My hands go numb, my arms go numb, and it's painful. Again, at the Cauda Equina site, the disc is protruding again there, but affecting my right leg this time. And I'm still using my right leg, but it is beginning to go a bit numb and heavy and painful. Basically, I went to MSK, she checked me over, and I've got no reflexes. Obviously, I've got no reflexes in my left leg because that's the one that's damaged anyway. But I've got no reflexes in my lower limb on my right leg now too. So I'm getting more problems, and I think it's all to do with not having that help afterwards. I should have had intensive physio or something. There should be something in place for aftercare, because I got nothing. The other thing is, I have got a knot coming up on Friday, believe it or not, in my neck. Getting a fusion and a cage put in because it is getting worse. And basically, the surgeons turned round to me and said it's not going to improve anything, but it'll stop it from getting worse. So, hey-oh, I'm going to blog my surgery on my neck and my recovery. Just thought I'd let you all know. As for the school runs, I use the chariot because I can't do the hills at all. When I do the hills, I'm in agony afterwards, and I could be in agony for a couple of days. It is horrendous. The pain as walking up it, it is agony. So I had to get myself a scooter. I was so proud. I'm not getting on that. There's no way I'm using that. No way. I'm young. I shouldn't be on one of them. But do you know what? It is the best thing I have ever bought. It's absolutely amazing. The school runs are just so easy. The kids are in every day. They're not missing any time off now. And school has seen a massive improvement since I've been using the scooter with the attendance, because the attendance was so shit. Anyway, love you all.